You are now watching the official YouTube channel for the largest basketball manager game in the world. Join at BuzzerBeater.com if you think you can beat the buzzer.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Bubbles Buzzer Beater, the official Buzzer Beater YouTube channel. Today I wanted to partly give an update on the Utopia team and also just talk about full court press as a defensive option for not just the occasional game, but like long-term outlook. As many of you might know from following the channel, the goal of my Utopia team was to create a full court pressable team that works in higher level leagues as well. And this was the first season where it seems like a viable option even up into Division 2. And the reason that I say that was this season for my Utopia Division 3 league, we went 22-0. So this 22-0 record for Division 3 Utopia obviously doesn't directly translate to success in Division 2, but there's a lot of positive indicators about what we're looking at. So if we scroll down here to look at the stats, and we'll go to steals right here. Since we played full court press every single game, the defensive stats are pretty off the chart. So you'll see that the league average for steals is right around 6 or 7. And then we do have one team up at 9 steals per game, and then you have Bubbles Explode. So our team at 17.3 steals per game, which is really, really good to see for a full court press defense. Looking at blocks, just because blocks are a little bit part of full court press as well, you'll generate some more blocks. League average probably right around 5. It looks like 5 or 6. And then I was above league average at 7 blocks per game, despite not having like what you'd consider like shot blocking bigs or like really consistent good big men for Division 3. And there's only 2 teams that average more blocks per game. But the main one is the 17.3 steals per game is something that was off the charts really good. And then looking at our tactics breakdown. So our tactics breakdown right here, you'll see offensively we did a lot of different stuff. So we'll see 8 inside offensive games. We'll see 3 outside, and then a lot of neutral across push the ball, patient, inside isolation, and outside isolation. So really, really good breakdown of different offenses for this strategy. And then obviously 22-0 for the full court press. And then the other question that I've gotten when people ask for an update on how the full court press is going, they see that I'm being successful in my league, but they want to know, is that sustainable across like other leagues as well? I don't have a direct answer for that, but what I can say is for the Buzzer Beater Madness this season, I also went full court press for every game, spread out different offenses, and then went 5-2 in those games. So pretty interesting there. I think it's definitely viable in Division 3 as a long-term strategy. And then even the 2 losses that were generated through the Buzzer Beater Madness games, you'll see one was a 12-point loss. So I remember this was a game all the way through like the middle of the fourth quarter. And then this was a 5-point loss. That was a game all the way up until like the final minute of the game. So even the 2 losses for full court press and Buzzer Beater Madness were also pretty close. But yeah, I think it's just interesting to see how full court press as a defense can be viable in Division 3. And then for a breakdown of the team, just to have an idea of, if you wanted to do this, what type of skill should you be prioritizing? I'll just filter by salary. So for me, the main things that I wanted was obviously a lot of defensive traits, and then a lot of stamina were the 2 main things. So it was like a lot of outside defense across different positions, a couple of players with decent inside defense, and then just good offensive statistics all around, along with stamina everywhere. So if we look through this, you'll see 16 outside defense, 7 stamina, 18 outside defense, 8 stamina, and then my 2 bigs right here. So you'll see my center and my power forward that I played there for the vast majority of the games outside of when I was doing training. 15 inside defense, 7 outside defense, so pretty good secondaries for a big. And then our power forward, 15 inside defense, 5 outside defense, 9 stamina on both of those players as well. And then also take note of the rebounding. So going with like a 5-out system or like a full court pressable team, you have to find ways to keep salaries cheaper and have like a deeper rotation in a way. So part of that is taking a hit with rebounding, where we'll go ahead and filter by rebounding right here. My center leads the way with 11 rebounding, and then my power forward has 9. And then after that, there's not a lot of rebounding, but what you will notice is even though my bigs don't have like historically good rebounding for like Division 3, if we go back and filter by salary and just look at the guards and forwards, you'll see that my point guard has 8 rebounding, small forward has 6 rebounding, another small forward, shooting guard, point guard, they depends on training, had 7 rebounding, 6 rebounding. And then this is one of my lone players that didn't have like rebounding at the guard positions as well. But a lot of those starters, even at the other positions, do have higher rebounding, which helps make up a little bit of that deficit for the lack of rebounding at the big spots. And then other thing I'll mention is the staminas actually look a little bit lower than what they did for most of the season. I know that Many Money right here, he was at 8 stamina. Actually, might have been 9. I know he was at 8 stamina. He might have even touched 9 stamina earlier this season. Mushuli was at 9 stamina previously as well. Same thing with Granger and actually Lawton's still there. So for my top 6 or 7 players, all of them except for one were at 9 stamina earlier in the season. And then as stamina does, it just naturally drops a little bit. So I'll probably look at doing another stamina training over the off-season break. But yeah, lots of stamina, lots of outside defense. And then looking at our trainees, you'll see that our trainees have also developed really nicely as well. So a big part of that is, okay, how do you make this sustainable in Division 3? If we go over to our finances and looking at like where we're at there, we have 1.3 mil in the bank right now, and we're making 15K per week. So not a lot, but it is actually sustainable with this 350K player salary in Division 3 with this roster. Big reason for that is the trainees that we're looking at. So if we go over, let's go to my roster here. If we go over here and go to estimated salary, you'll see that Moshuli has a 61K salary right now, but after training, he has a projected 89K salary. So there's 29K right there that we're saving roughly through training this season. And then Granger and Lawton also similar, of Granger's up 18K salary for his current versus his projected, and then Lawton a little bit less so, of just 6K. But these are the 3 players that are playing a lot of minutes for me, and are a big reason why I'm 22-0 in Division 3 with full court press. And keeping those salaries down, building up a lot of total skill points. You'll see 137, 118, 122, 119. Having some players that are higher total skill points, but not taking up a lot of salary is really important. And then once again, just looking at that rebounding, there's just not a lot going on there. So that's another way to shave off salary for a full court press team, is having those non-traditional bigs that don't carry a lot of rebounding, but have good enough inside defense to hold their own inside. And then other thing for full court press is that it's also helpful to have inside defense on other players as well. So you'll see that I have 7 players in my rotation with 11 or higher inside defense. And none of them have anything below 7 outside defense outside of our 1 power forward that's a tick lower. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I had a couple people reach out that were wanting an update on the Utopia team experiment and seeing how full court press is going. I still want to keep the full court press system going in Division 2, and at 22-0 I should be auto promoting now, which is nice. And then, as I mentioned, with the 1.3 mil as 1.3 mil in the bank, in addition to the promotion bonus that I'll get, I think I'll have a lot of money that I can spend on updating the roster. And what I'd likely be shopping for is going to be looking at replacing my power forward or center. So the power forward is 34 years old. The center's still 30. So I might hold on to him. But looking at our power forward, 34 years old, so he's going to start dropping in skills next season. And I think I want to upgrade and spend a lot of money on a really good high defense, low rebounding, high outside defense, good just all around like power forward that would work in a full court pressable system. So that's an update on the Utopia team. I think it's been a really big success, and I will probably do like a separate update more specific to like the team itself rather than just like full court press as an idea for those of you that are interested. But yeah, if you guys wanted to look into doing something unique with your Utopia team or with your main team from your country, full court press has been really fun. It always makes the games interesting too. Scrolling back down here, we'll go to points per game, and it's pretty wild. So you'll see league average probably around like 105, 106, 107 for league average, up at 125 points per game. So it's just constant movement, lots of high-scoring games, which are pretty fun to watch. So it's definitely something that you could look into as well. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. I will be back soon with another video.